Yo, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to hop on here and talk about the time I lost my job to AI. Pretty wild. So my first real job on a salary after college, I worked for a big franchise of different MMA gyms. They were all under the same name, same franchise with a few different owners. I'm not going to say the name of the gym on here, but I helped manage 2 or sometimes 3 of these gyms at a time. I would help coach classes. I managed the financial accounts for a lot of these gyms, and I had the company phone on me. So if we got a lead, like somebody hit us up on Instagram, or if somebody went to our website and submitted a form, I would get that, and it would be on me to reach out to them and try and get them hooked and come in and start taking classes. In the beginning, this was a really good gig. The hours were pretty sweet. I got to train martial arts for free, jiu-jitsu and kickboxing as much as I wanted. I would respond to emails, call parents, freeze or unfreeze some accounts, reach out to leads, and then during the day, I could just chill behind the front desk and handle the basic stuff or just listen to podcasts and help coach classes. It was really cool. Now, a few months into this job, I come into work and I see my laptop, like my work laptop, is on the front desk and it's open. And my boss, the head coach, we can call him Jeff for the video, Jeff is at the front desk on my work laptop and he's showing me this new AI overlay that he's paid this company for. I wish I could remember the name of the program so I could put it on screen for you guys. But he was paying like 40 or 50 bucks a month. And this thing was monitoring everything, like every email I sent on Chrome extensions, every phone call I took, every interaction that I had on that laptop was not only being recorded and visible to the people I worked with, but now it's being recorded by this AI software that is installed on the computer that my boss is paying for. And he told me that it just helps to collect data on the business and how the gyms are doing. And that made sense on the time because it was useful, to be fair. But that was the first red flag. But anyways, y'all, things keep going on. I'm working the job. Everything's all good. I show up a few days later because we would have meetings before our shifts would start, like classes, where we would talk about what we need to work on for the gym, how are the financials looking, what's going on this week. And then the instructors and all the people that worked there, we would all train jiu-jitsu and kickbox amongst ourselves. It was really cool. But I would always pop in, train with the guys for a little bit, and then I would run upstairs so I could get to the phone, start calling some parents back, start calling the adults to get them into jiu-jitsu or kickboxing. I would answer emails, and then I would spend a lot of time looking at the financials, monitoring how much money the gym was bringing in, how much we were spending, if our pricing looked right compared to other gyms in the area. It was always a constant need to take a look at that. Every month I would take a look on the computer and I would crunch the numbers a little bit. But anyways, I showed up that day. I trained with the guys for a little bit. We were doing some jiu-jitsu. We got a few rounds in rolling. And I packed it up and I went back upstairs to go to my laptop to do work for the day. And my boss, Jeff, is already there on my computer. And he shows me this AI thing that he's paying for the business, that it can process and run the financials on its own. It has its own algorithms and accounting abilities to manage and show the numbers. And this is all stuff that would have taken me a pretty good amount of time to do by hand on a regular basis. And he showed me this AI bot do it in just a couple minutes. We got almost everything we needed. Now, at this point, I was getting a little bit nervous because I just had less work to do. There were more automated things. There was less that I had to handle. I was still working the front desk and taking phone calls, and I was the one managing the financial accounts and the memberships. But this AI was really starting to do a lot more of my job, and it was giving me a bad feeling. I had a feeling that eventually this was going to boot me out, right? But anyways, I continue working the job over the next few weeks and things are pretty chill. And I noticed that I just have less to do, right? Now it's a Friday night. I had a few weekend plans. I'm just chilling at the front desk, hanging out. It's like 7 at night. And my boss, Jeff, is finishing up teaching a jiu-jitsu class, an adult jiu-jitsu class on the mats behind me. He finishes up the class and he comes up to the desk where I was working, and he was kind of lingering for a minute before he asked me to come to work a little bit early Monday morning. I thought this was a little bit weird because they never ask me to come in early on a dime like that, but I told him, yeah, I can do that. And I jokingly said to him, I was like, oh, what's going on? Am I getting fired or something? And he turns and his eyes go kind of wide for a second. And then he chuckles a little bit, like this forced laugh. And he's like, no, we just have a lot of work to do. We just need to look at some accounts before this next week starts. And we'll meet with some of the other owners of the gym and just kind of talk about where the gym is at financially. And I was kind of in between, the way his eyes lit up, I kind of thought, oh, maybe I'm getting let go. But he started coming up with all these really specific things that I needed to do. But anyways, that was really it. Kind of weird shift. And I go home and I was thinking about it all weekend, right? Monday morning, I come to work like 2 hours earlier than I usually do is when he asked me to come in. But I come in like 2 hours early and I pop up the stairs where I usually go to get my financial work done. And everybody is there. Jeff and all the other owners of the gym are there. And they all kind of have this stiff, sort of sad look on their face. I shake hands with everybody and then I sit down and I just had a really bad feeling in my gut and there seemed to be this tense silence in the air. So I kind of jokingly asked, I was like, did I do something wrong? Am I in trouble or something? And all the owners kind of laugh a little bit. They look at each other and then they kind of return to the stern faces they had before. And they told me that I didn't do anything wrong, but that things have been slowing down at the gym and that my services are no longer required. Obviously, in the moment, this hit like a ton of bricks, but I took it in stride. I smiled. I said, that's totally cool. And I shook everybody's hand. I signed some things. I think it was just an NDA and a non-compete agreement, which makes sense just because they probably don't want me to go work at another fight gym and, let them in on the financial knows that I had about this gym. So I signed the papers that they gave me after I read them over. I shook Jeff's hand and all the other owners' hands, and they all felt sorry for me. I hate saying that, but they just looked at me with this look of like pity. And I popped downstairs and I hopped in my car. And then as I was driving home, it totally hit me. They installed all of this AI software that monitored what I was doing so that they could use all of my interactions to build their own algorithm that would automatically respond to leads or send automatic emails. And you get the idea. He basically paid maybe 40, 50 bucks a month to record everything that I did. And then he cut me loose once he had enough information for the AI or the robot to do my job for me. It hurt pretty bad in the moment. And I never would have thought that AI could have taken my job or anybody's job, but now more than ever, I see it happening to other people, and it happened to me, so. But anyways, guys, I guess it does make sense, especially with how smart these things are now and the algorithms. Why pay a guy like thousands of dollars to do things by hand when you can have a robot do it for like 20 bucks a month? But anyways, if AI has taken your job, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Peace.